right, guys, let me show you what I got done here. So here is a tricky situation where we had the lower stairs with just peppered with stuff. So anyway, what I ended up doing, first I scrubbed it. Some of it came off with scrubbing, some of it didn't. Most of that was probably done when the carpet was installed. So I had to drop this all off. I had to paper this side, cover everything, and then there was some patching. And the problem with these touch-ups and why I kind of drag my feet, you know, to patch something, I got to put on the patch, I got to wait for it to dry. To touch that up, I need 2 coats of paint. I got to wait in between for it to dry. This isn't a house where, like, it's easy for me to go, oh, I'll just do this, I'll go down the street and do something else. So pretty much I'm here for an 8-hour day, even though I have like 3 or 4 hours of work. So it's really hard to know what to charge people. I don't. So anyway, that's kind of the reason I drag my feet on it, is it's like, I don't end up making what I want to make and usually end up charging more than you want to pay anyway. So it's a tough situation. So anyway, you guys have been super patient. I really appreciate you. So I tried to do you solid here. You may notice, like, if you really look where I rolled up to, I tried to pick a line in the drywall. See how it's kind of bowed out there from the tape line and meet up there, because the only way to get it perfect is to go from top to bottom. So anyway, I masked it off. I did that. Let's take a look at this area. But I patched everything. And then I came through and vacuumed afterward. But I didn't want to get too far in here because the paint's still wet and I don't want to scratch it and then have the same problem. So there you go. All that's done. This wall I painted twice, and this is all 2 coats from here to here. Okay, then we had a spot over here. There was a spot down there that needed 3 coats to cover. And then there's this area here that I had to patch. Now that didn't come out perfect. I don't have time to do another patch right now. Hopefully you don't mind that little divot there. I can come back and deal with it later. But for getting through today, that's as far as I could get. It's right behind the trim. It looks better than it did. I'm hoping we can live with it. There's nothing in these other rooms. Let me turn that back off. But like, see, if you just look over, this is a spot that's really hard to sand. And for it to dry, I used 20-minute hot mud. Still takes about an hour. So to do another coat wasn't really an option for today. So anyway, we got that done. All right, moving around here. So this thing, this is a flat, white, smooth wall, meaning that it's going to show any smudges. And this is probably the worst coat rack you could have possibly picked for that situation. So what most people do in this situation, if you don't want to constantly deal with it scratching, is they'll install like a 2x4 or a 1x3, paint it white and stick it on there so that you have a little bit of space to get this thing in there. Does that make sense? So basically a furring strip that screws into the wall so that you can put this in without that happening, because I didn't put it back in. I'll let you guys do it, because that's where you're going to get the scratching, is this thing. And then when I was going to touch up around it, I mean, there's no way to touch up around that clean. So just be extra careful installing that again, because that is going to scratch the wall if you touch the wall with it. I went ahead and tried to patch the corners the best I could here, because they were all chewed up from stuff. But again, I can only do so much patching with the time I have, with dry times and there being no heat in here. So you can see here, I touched up this wall. I think it looks really good. This wall looks really good. All the lower stuff that we had. So, and you know, with renters coming in here, there's going to be some stuff that happens. So if you guys were moving in, I would maybe go to more extensive lengths to get it perfect. But at this point, you guys need to rent it out. I don't want to not be able to finish and stress out. So I just wanted to get it to where I think a renter would come in here. It looks brand new. They're not going to notice any of this stuff, and it's ready to go. And then if we need to fine tune it, if you're unhappy with some of the stuff, we can deal with it later. But over here, I did that. I painted this whole section twice coming over to here. There's just smudges along this entire wall. So I masked off all this. I repainted that triangle. I repainted this all the way over. In here, I caulked that corner. I didn't have time to mess with this because somebody sanded that off. So I made that clean coming down. And then I was able to paint that. So we had this little stuff here that somebody was sanding here, and they took a sander too far. And to have that done, you really have to drywall patch it. It turns into a big project. So I did the best I could with what I have. And then we have this. So there was a spot up here. There was a big smudge up there that was kind of weird. I ended up doing 3 coats on that. And then I covered all of the cabinetry. And I went all the way around and cut in and got rid of, there was like a little brown spot that I had showed you before that went all the way around that stuff. So I went ahead and did that. So now this ceiling looks really good. So basically, I'm very nitpicky. I would have liked to repaint the entire ceiling. You know, everything that needs to be redone, do it correctly, do all the drywall patching and all that. But to get it done I mean, you see, I'm leaving right now. It's almost 7 o'clock. So to get everything done where I need to get done and get this thing down the road, this is where we're at. I think, you know, hopefully you guys come up Friday. And then also I cleaned after myself because it sounds like you already had a house cleaner in here. So I'm hoping that I got this as good as I could and that you guys are going to be happy. The renters are going to come in. It'll be happy. And down the road, you guys will call me if it needs to be touched up again. But, you know, stuff like this, these corners are going to, you're probably going to get dinged with renters being in here and stuff. I mean, you're going to get some people in here that are probably drunk. And, you know, I notice other things that, like, this doesn't seem done. I don't know what the deal is with the baseboard, but I don't think I had anything to do with that. But it doesn't look like the baseboard's even done. So I'm trying to figure that out because I see some patching, but anyway, it looks good. Renters are going to be happy. They're going to probably do some stuff to it, so there's no sense in you guys spending an arm and a leg trying to get it perfect again just to have people coming through here. So let me know what you think. I think we're ready to go. I think it's better than it was, and I think that it should be ready to rent. And if there's something else, please let me know because I want to keep you guys happy. It is hard for me to get over here and do these last minute things, but you've been super patient, super nice to work with. You're awesome people, and I really appreciate your business and also the way you've handled the whole situation. You never pressured me. You never made me feel, you know, there's never a bad moment where you got on my case. You're nothing but patient, kind. You paid on time. You're a great client to have. I appreciate you very much. And I hope I didn't piss you guys off too much with how hard I was to get back over here. So hopefully you guys are happy. I wish you the best of luck. Let me know if you need anything else.